Last episode, we built a train station over the park entrance and complained a lot about sound issues on the log flume. And today I'll probably complain some more about sounds, but more importantly, we're going to build our first steam train in this world, and I'm very excited. But before we get to that, between episodes, I have done a little bit of work out here. I've just sort of started paving the area on the other side of the entrance. I don't really know what to do with the floor, but that doesn't look too bad so far. I did consider putting a logo of some kind in the floor, but the park doesn't really have one yet, so yeah, maybe we'll have to come back to that. I've also added a couple more food stands just because, well, it was looking a little bit bland. Even this guy, look, he's selling little beardy plushies. What a hero. And speaking of beardy plushies, those of you who backed the campaign a few months ago, you should actually start receiving your beardy plushies now. If you do want to share some photos in the Discord, please do. I love seeing them in their new homes. However, if you did miss them and you still want one, I do still have some available. They will be going on sale at some point in the next few weeks, so keep an eye out for announcements on that. But anyway, enough of that promotion stuff. What else have we done? Yes, between episodes, I also did some work over here at the log flume. In fact, you can already see the trees coming in. Look at that wonderfulness. So what I've done is I've started extending the main path, so it's going to go through this little sort of tunnel cliffy type thing here and head back towards Main Street. But I've also just done a little bit of work on the path around here. I do still need to put in a bridge across the river here, but once you get over to this side, it's a lot more immersive. We've got the forest in, we've got lots more mushrooms and trees and things, and it's just generally looking a whole lot better around here. But of course, we still have a long way to go, and I have still been struggling with the sound issues. I've not actually been able to fix them, but the issue has developed. Oh, sounds like the CD over here loaded this time, but I actually want to turn that off so I can edit without all the jump cuts in the music. Wonderful. So yes, the sound problem. It gets weirder, and it seems there must be some kind of conflict within the pack itself. As it turns out, it's not just affecting the sounds that I've added via a link, and it's not just struggling to pull them from the internet. I also made a custom data pack that actually had the music in it, and even then sometimes it wouldn't load them. But it gets even weirder than that. I then experimented with the default Minecraft discs, and I put cats into a jukebox and nothing happened. I took it out, I put it back in, and then it played the song. I then took it out, put it back in, and nothing happened. So it's just being very temperamental, and I don't know why. So if anyone can work out why sounds don't load when joining a world, please let me know. It's driving me absolutely mad. And that means I need to calm down. And what better way to calm down than to actually show you a lovely cinematic that I promised you last episode of the Turbulent Timbers ride and surrounding areas. I absolutely love it. This area is really coming together. And if you want to check it out for yourselves, the October World download is now available to all YouTube and Patreon members of all levels. So go and explore for yourself. And once again, if you do manage to solve the sound issues, please let me know. Right, anyway, on with the day, by which I mean night, I guess. It's train time. Alrighty, so we need a long straight bit of track to make the train. So I guess we'll be doing that over here. But then we're also going to need a whole load of resources to be able to do this. And I really need to get rid of that train as well. So maybe we should do that first. Maybe we should sleep. It looks pretty dangerous around here. Yes, burn. Right, let's dismantle this train. Then we'll put down a shiny new station right about here. So, problem with building a train is I don't really have any of the things that I want to be able to build a train. And I've been thinking about this. Obviously, this park is built in the modern era. So we could do a sort of, you know, electric train, an intercity train type thing. But I don't know. I mean, this is a theme park. I feel like it should be a little bit more fun than that. So we are going to be making a steam train over here. That's not to say we won't make modern ones over in the town to move resources around. But I think for the one that comes to the theme park, it does want to be a steam train. And I haven't built a train in about 6 months, so I'm quite looking forward to this. Mainly because I don't need to use crushing wheels for my boilers anymore. We've got lots of colour and variety in all of these sort of loco metal things from the Create Steam and Rails mod. And I'll tell you what, I do quite like the look of this green stuff. How do we make this? So we need to dye loco metal. How do we get just normal loco metal again? I can't remember, and there doesn't seem to be a recipe in here for it. Well, I guess we're going to have to rely on Google for that one. I think what I should probably do is make a list of materials that I think I'm going to need for this. Well, I think this list will cover most of the things we need. Not that I actually know how to make the loco metal yet. I do still need to look that up, but I'm assuming it's something to do with iron. This is just me roughly guessing what we're going to need, though, so we're probably going to need to go grab some other stuff at some point. Oh, and of course, it's not just the stuff on this list. There's also this. Always zinc. And with that in mind, I think I might start with the zinc, you know? Or maybe what I should do is set up a sort of temporary zinc farm. I mean, we don't have any chocolate to be able to make scoria right now, but we've got a whole lot of cobble. And if we just run that through a whole bunch of crushing wheels and some other bits and bobs, we can just turn that to zinc over time. And we're probably going to need quite a lot this episode because we need quite a lot every episode. So maybe, just maybe, that's actually worth doing. And maybe we can squeeze that in just down here in one of these buildings. That should work nicely. Alrighty, only one minor incident, but I think we're good to go. So if I just jump into free cam here so I don't jump back into the grinders, what we're going to do is load up cobble into this box here. That's going to get ground down to gravel, which then gets turned into sand. That's also going to give us clay and some stuff we don't want, though. So all the stuff we don't want gets filtered into the chute down here. Sand stays up, gets turned into soul sand by the haunting. The soul sand then comes up these belts, gets turned into scoria and goes into this box. And then I ran out of space. So what we then do is if we go into the building next door, it carries on. So the scoria comes out here, gets crushed into zinc nuggets. The zinc nuggets go into the compactificator, and then we get zinc ingots. And thankfully, I think I've got about 100,000 cobblestone, so I might just go chuck that whole box on there. That's going to get us loads of zinc. 178,000, twice as much as I thought. Excellent. And what we're going to do is just literally pick that up with the carry-on mod. Easy transportation. We'll just swap it out up the top there, and that is going to make us a whole load of zinc, eventually. And while we wait for all the zinc, let's go and start gathering all of this stuff, I guess. And in regards to loco metal, I did actually find loads of the yellow blast wrap stuff from when we made the monorail, and I think I can actually just dye this green, right? Oh no, it's wrapped. Oh, I don't want it to be wrapped? Okay, I'm gonna have to find out how to make that. Let's go gather some stuff. Well, I've got everything on my list and a few items more, and we've got 271 zinc so far, which isn't too bad. We'll just stick that in there for now. But I'm hoping that in this bag here, we have everything we need to at least make a start on the trains. I don't know why I pluralized that. I'm only going to build one train, at least for now. So, let's make a start, I guess. And as always, we start with the most important thing. How are we going to make the wheels look? And I think at the front of the train, maybe a triple bogie? A radial one at that? Yeah, that could work. Oh, and just before we get into this, I know nothing about trains. So apologies in advance when I get to the point where I start upsetting all the train enthusiasts. It's almost certainly going to happen because I have no idea what I'm doing. Right, standard. Maybe big wheel at the back? 2 big wheels at the back. Yeah, that could work. And we're going to do a little trick here that I do like to do. We're going to run some chutes down the middle and then stick them on like that. And we get a lovely curve at the bottom of the train engines. Then down at the front here, maybe let's just stick in some solid blocks here for now. So I feel like that's going to want to be maybe a block further forward so we don't see the wheels. Don't want them sticking out the front, that would just be weird. So let's try these engine boiler things that we've got, shall we? What I've done is I've got some grey ones like that, which I think is going to look quite good at the front, but then we want to stick on some green ones. Yeah, I quite like that colouring. I think I'm going to adjust where these wheels at the back are. Maybe stick one in there. And another one there. Yeah, that looks better. Doesn't look quite so long in the middle now. And then we're just going to add some more chutes onto the back. Maybe block that bit in as well. And let's maybe break up this front bit here a bit. In fact, I should probably get that filled in as well. And maybe some pipes. Not sure on that. We'll come back to that. Let's sort out the front here. So we'll use some copycat steps. Placard on the front. We're going to grab some girders, some metal brackets, a whistle. Tell you what though, didn't bring any fluid tanks, did I? I'm going to need one of those. But what we're going to do, we're going to put 2 girders on the top and then put a smokestack on the one at the front here. Yeah, that works. Then we're going to shape the top here a little bit. Can we use... Yep, there they are. They are coming through. Just something simple like that, maybe. Do I have any copper tanks in here? I do. Okay, cool. Let's just put some of those in with a whistle on top. Got a better idea. Let's make it taller. Stick the whistle on the front. And if we block in the sides here, I think I want that to come back one more, maybe. Just fill in this floor, get these in, then figure out what to do down here. So that pipe there looks a bit weird. Let's maybe replace that with some vertical corner stairs. That looks a bit better. Got another weird one here, though, as well. But, don't really want to make it solid. Maybe we can hide it. Let's try this yellow brass wrapped loco metal stuff. This might work. Put a little bar across there. Do that to maybe there. Oh, there we go. That's better. Gonna want to put some brackets on that as well. Maybe one at the start. Get some brackets on these pipes here. One there. Maybe I should just match the pipes. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Do want to sort out this top bit here, though. I reckon if we use some copycat panels... Get rid of that one. Maybe get 3 of those along there. Still needs something here, doesn't it? Maybe let's try a copper shaft and some brackets. I mean, there's a lot going on, but I do quite like it. So now what we're going to do is we've got these copycat headstocks, and if we change it to buffers, we can get some lovely buffers on the front. Look at that. I approve. We're going to need some of these on the back so we can get more buffers in, but also there is this one. A knuckle coupler, and I'm hoping that's going to connect to the carriage behind. But I guess we'll find out soon. I think we need a ladder on there. Coming along nicely, though. Well, we've only got industrial iron ones on us, so they'll have to do. So let's put in some glass up here for a window, and let's get all the train controls in next, I think. So those under there and a seat. And I guess to seal off this window, we're going to have to use copycat panels. That'll do the trick. Then if we use a couple of slabs at the back there... That'll keep that fairly open. Then I'm going to use the polished cut scoria for the roof because it's got a little bit of a green tinge to it, and I think that's just going to sit quite nicely. Otherwise, it's looking good, but I think it needs like a little bit of an edge running around. Yeah, much better. Still feel it's a bit lacking at the back here, though. But I've got an idea. And that idea is to stick some stuff to the back of it. So, a couple of supports there. And if we use these vertical grab bars, which are from Mowers Decor, I think. Yep, the bathroom stuff. Oh, that actually looks really good. I like that. And in fact, are we done? I think we might be done. Did I do the other side as well? Of course I did. Okay, cool. Right. I think we're done, at least with that bit. Now what we need is a tender. You know, one of those things that you put all the coal in. And just like that, with no incidents whatsoever, we have a tender. Wonderful. Let's just repair all of that. Get rid of the flint. We don't want that. Wonderful. But I think that now completes our train engine. We've got the tender going. We just need a whole bunch of carriages. And something has dawned on me. I mean, this engine and tender is what? 15 blocks long, give or take? I think I've made a bit of a boo-boo. This platform needs to probably be at least twice as long as this, which means this entire hill and slope and track and everything is in the wrong place. I need to extend this out probably about another 20 blocks that way, and same on the other side. The other side, not so much of an issue because we haven't decided what we're doing with that yet. But this side, I spent ages placing this massive hill, but now we need to extend the platform out to probably about here, and then the hill needs to start. But that's a problem for future Beardy, I suppose. For now, let's get this train finished, and next up, I want to work on some carriages. We'll start by placing down a couple of bogies. So if we go 4 back, that should work nicely, and I guess, how big do we want the carriage? Maybe 9 blocks? Yeah, that should be big enough. And for the bit that goes around the edge here, I think what I want to do is bring back some blocks that I actually made good use of last season. And for that, we need to go get some dark oak. And we're going to convert that into these, the dark oak reinforced log. Now, placement of these logs is a little bit awkward, so what we need to do is put a whole bunch of logs across the top here, because these logs are directional. So if we place them on the top like that, there we go, we get them facing the right direction. Although I don't think I want to cover over the wheels, so let's use some stairs here, see how they work out. Yeah, okay, I think that works. Let's try getting the rest in and see how the whole thing looks. And we'll just quickly remove all these temporary blocks so we can see what we're working with. Yep, I think that's going to work quite nicely, at least for the base. Next up, let's get the buffers and things in. And the good news is the knuckle joints do actually link. Look at that. And we'll just do the same on the back. And that's the knuckle joint. We'll stick one of them in the middle. That is on the side so we can get up on top. And I think we're going to go for one of those sort of old school train carriages where we have the entrances at each end. So we're going to stick some rails on as well. So for the main passenger wagon of the train, I think we're going to try mangrove initially, and then we're going to use copycat panels down the side, of course, so we've got plenty of space inside the carriage, and we'll leave some gaps for windows as well, I think. Okay, something like that should work. Let's just get the glass in. I think I've got a plan for how I want the top of these windows to work, so we'll start with these, the copycat steps, and if we just put in a line across the top here, and what I want to try and do is just make the windows a little bit taller. So we'll just put these all across for now and get rid of the ones in the middle. We don't actually need those. It just makes it easier to place them. Get those panels back in. Now, how are we looking? Yeah, I like that. I mean, I think the color's good. The shape's good. I mean, we could do with getting a roof on it. It is looking a little bit bland, though, so let's swap out these mangrove blocks at the bottom and add a little bit of texture. Oh, yes, that makes a massive difference. And then for these vertical pillar bits, I think what we'll do is try these chiseled engraved blocks. I think they look pretty good. I'm not sure, though. Let's try it on the rest of them as well. Oh, okay, that actually looks pretty good when they're all swapped out. I think I like that. So I need to get the other wall in here, I think, before we get the roof on. Though, let's just quickly swap out these plain blocks first on this wall. And we should swap out these pillars here as well. Make sure they match. And I guess before I put the other wall in, I should actually make sure we've got enough space here. So can we do... No, that looks ridiculous. What's that doing? Doing any... Oh, it's making it thinner at the back. Yeah, that's still not going to help really, is it? So that means we're going to have to leave space in between them. How does that sit? Oh, okay, well that actually fits perfectly, but let's get rid of these arms as well. And we'll get some tables in too. Yeah, this should work nicely. We do have this weird gap here in the middle though. What can we do about that? How about just a block of dark oak? Yeah, that works. And then we'll, of course, do the same on the other side. But yeah, I think I'm happy with this. We could maybe just put a light or something on that. So let's get this other wall in. Usually at this point, I'd do a quick block placing montage for you, but apparently I didn't actually have the game sound turned on for some reason, which I didn't notice when recording whatsoever. So apologies for the lack of sound in this whole section. Got the other wall up, so now let's get a roof on. And I'm going to use the Scorcher again because, well, I kind of want it to match the train engine, to be perfectly honest. Start off with just a circle of slabs around here, and we're going to raise the center bit. Well, it's working nicely, but I forgot to use the polished stuff. I've just used the normal stuff, so we're going to swap that out quickly. Silly birdie. Not only does it look much better, but it's also going to match the main engine this way. Then what we're also going to do is just put a little ridge on the side here. How big do we want it? 2 bits? 3 bits? 3 might be a bit big. Let's just stick with 2 for now, and we'll get that all the way around and see how we're looking. Yeah, that's the one. That's looking good. I like. We'll just spam a couple of lights in. I think 1 at each end, and maybe just a couple on the inside. May as well make use of those bits in the middle. Now, we need to do something about the floor, and I want to try these oak planks first, see how they look. Bit concerned they might be a bit bright. Yeah, that's a bit too bright, I think, and it doesn't really help that under the table it's dark oak, so how about we swap these out for planks? Yep, that's looking much better. I definitely prefer that. But now we need some doors. And I think for the train doors, it's just, yep, a door and an andesite casing. I'm going to use these proper train doors here because, well, they open in a cool way, but mostly because they'll actually open automatically when we get to a station. And any other door we use wouldn't do that. But I think that is our first carriage done. I like how that looks, and it goes with the engine quite nicely as well. Although, maybe it just needs a little bit of something under here. Just a single slice might look pretty good. Oh yes, that makes a huge difference. Let's just get that in on the other side. And now our first carriage is done. Excellent stuff. But once we get a couple more in, our train will be complete. I just hope I've actually got enough track here to do it. Well, that's looking pretty awesome with all three carriages there. I'm happy about that. Let's just get rid of this. And it looks like, yeah, I've actually missed the trim on the bottom of the last carriage there, that trim at the bottom. So let's quickly get that added in. And I've got everything stuck together. So hopefully if we go over here, we can just form the train. Oh, assembly failed. Too many bogies. Have I attached this to... No, that's not attached. Have I attached it to the back? No. But that's the only one... Oh, I see. I can't have... Oh, that's a shame. Does that mean I'm going to have to lose one of these wheels? All right, well, let's get rid of this one here because we can't have three bogies on the same thing. And that's just left a massive hole. We might be able to make this work, though. Let's just get a solid block in there and maybe brackets as well. Yeah, let's just do brackets on each side, I think. And now, yes, now we can assemble it. And, we need a name. And you know what I'm like at naming things, so if you've got ideas for a train name, please do let me know in the comments. I would love to have your ideas. Because without them, we end up with names like Trainy Train, which is what we're going to call it for now. Oh, wait a minute. It would help if I actually assembled it after naming it, instead of clicking the disassemble button again. And let's go for a little drive and see how bad things are over at the station. Oh, these trees are a bit close. Yep, things are pretty bad. That station is probably about half the size it needs to be. That means I need to extend out the station probably to about here or something, which means I need to move that entire slope, and I need to extend it out on the other side as well. All right, let's just back the train out of the way, and we'll see what we can do about this. Good news though, the only bit of the train I actually left behind was this block of coal on top, so let's just quickly get that stuck together. And now let's move our slope. And by move, I mean quite literally move. First thing I need to do is just get rid of the rail. So what we're actually going to do here is try and super glue this whole thing together, because that way we can just push it with a mechanical piston. At least that's the hope. Although some of these trees, I don't really want to move them as well. Let's just remove them for now. We can always replace the trees, but my hope is if we can just move this slope a little bit over, then we can just plant more trees in here. It'll cover up what we've done over this side, and it will give us the space we need to actually expand the platform. So if we just start gluing from this side here, and I guess we'll see how we get on. So I've got everything glued together. We just need to put a mechanical piston here. And we're going to stick a bunch of extension poles in the back. And I think if we get to about 20, that should be enough. Then we need a hand crank. And I think I'm going to sleep and potentially get rid of those blocks there as well. I don't know if they're going to cause a problem or not, but I'd rather they didn't. So let's remove them just in case. Now let's hope this works and crank it. Oh, no, crank it the other way. It seems to be working. Oh, look at that. We're moving a whole mountain, hill, slope thing. And that should be getting to the end around about now. Yep, there we go. Look at that. That was moved perfectly, and I don't think it's left anything behind. And it didn't take any trees with it. Wonderful. And it looks like we've got plenty of space to put in the extra bit of station that we need. But let's quickly test that. So we'll get this bit of track back in. In fact, let's test the curve first. And that should match up perfectly. It looks like it has. Excellent. And then we'll just connect this bit up to the main bit of the platform. And we'll just extend out the opposite side as well, so we can see exactly what space we're working with. So let's just move our train onto this bit of track. And fingers crossed this is going to fit in the station now. Well, it looks like it's going to fit. Amazing. I just need to get this train back out the way, and then we need to build up some brand new shiny platform extension type things. So I guess I'm going to need some sandstone, some birch, some quartz, and some music. Yes, look at that. That's looking so much better now. I mean, we've still got a lot of work to do out the front here. All of this bit here needs to be sorted out, but I'm not concerned about that right now. I'm just happy that the train actually fits in the station. And in regards to the curve bit over this side, I have had to add a lot more trees, but I don't really think it's a problem because when you're actually down at the front here, you still get a good view of the flower bed and you'll still be able to see the train go past. It's just going to be a little bit further away, but I really like how this extra bit of the station here sticks out at the side. I have got that on the other side as well, and overall, I don't know, it just seems to settle the station into the landscape a little bit more. And if we go up onto the platform here, I have actually added a little bit of detail. So we've just got some plant pots, some benches, a couple of little bins and things like that. But with the station in here, this place is looking very cool. I'm very happy with it, and I believe it should be quite easy. Just step straight onto the train as well. Look at that. Don't even need to jump. No chance of falling off the platform here. Excellent. So with all of that done, I guess the next thing to do is, well, I do need to figure out what we're going to do with the track over on this side. I need to somehow turn the train around and send it back, but yep, problem for future, Beardy. For now, what I want to do is connect up this rail here. And what I want to do is connect it to this piece over this side and then pretty much just run it round the edge of the island around here. And hopefully we'll find a nice spot where we can actually put a bridge over to the other islands. In fact, if we look at the map, don't really want a bridge going across at an angle. Maybe we should go potentially across this straight bit here, maybe off this little peninsula, which I believe is this one over here. And that's pretty much a straight shot over to the new island. So yeah, I guess that's where we need to get the track to. So let's quickly get this done and I'll see you in just a moment. And there we have it. We now have a rail that goes all the way over to the edge of the island. Obviously, it still needs a lot of work. It needs to be tidied up. We've also got some really nice areas here where we're going to be able to put in some cool features. But I don't want to say what they might be because it'll probably give away what this area is going to become. And we're not ready for that just yet. I haven't connected the rail all the way to the other island yet because, well, you can see we need to make an absolutely massive bridge to get all the way over here. And then we need to build another station on this side. But this is the new island. This is where we're going to be building our sort of mini industrial district, I guess. And it might be enough space, it might not, but, you know, there's plenty of other islands around and so on. We can always spread out if we need to. But I'm just really looking forward to actually automating some of the basic resources we probably should have automated months ago. But sadly, that's all we've got time for today because, well, I've got a ginormous bridge that I need to plan. But I hope you enjoyed the episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye now.